The most important thing about Coonawarra is terroir. And the talk about terroir being the combination of the influences of the soil, the climate and the culture. And what's distinctive, the two key things of the terroir in Coonawarra are the soil and the climate. And the soil that we're known for and the soil that produces our best grapes is the terroir. The beautiful red clay can grow anything. It's got a wonderful structure to it, it holds its structure, and by that I mean it comes off in what they call peds in chunks, solid blocky chunks. And what's good about that is that it allows water to drain really freely through it, and it allows air in there, so it allows water to drain through and drain away, and allows air in for the plants to breathe. But too much of that, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So too much of that would mean that we wouldn't be able to control or manage the vines. So the good thing about Coonawarra is underneath that is this calcrete layer. And we know that maybe 1%, if that much, of the roots will get through this concrete. And so by not being able to get through, the vines are limited, they're more manageable, and we can, well, quite often, they'll stop growing naturally, especially for Cabernet Sauvignon. They'll stop growing at say a metre and a quarter, a metre and a half, about that long, 14 or 15 leaves, which provides a magical light environment for Cabernet Sauvignon, where they're not in full sunlight all day, they're in a dappled light, and as we know, it works very well.
Really, the Coonawarra Terroir is one of the great viticultural soils of the world. It is a really exceptional soil. It's high in calcium, and that also helps it maintain its structure. We've assessed soils carefully where we've grown grapes for 40, 50 years, and we see no degradation in those soils at all from our viticultural activity. So we're very optimistic about the long-term longevity of our vineyards growing in these special soils. Our best vineyards are planted in those soils that have an average depth that is right, and it's very hard to engineer that. It's a small, narrow strip of very, very precious soil.
The other part of terroir being the climate. Now, the ocean is 80 kilometres to our west. It's flat. In Europe or anywhere else there'd be a long way because there'd be a few mountain ranges. They're not here. So we get these wonderful cooling winds coming in during the summer, cooling weather patterns, and it moderates the climate. It's just wonderful. The combination is good.